Hi, everyone. So it is time to go over my February budget. I am once again using the Budget Girl template. If you have not checked out Budget Girl, you need to. You probably already know her. But she's fantastic. She had very little income to go on. I think made 20 some thousand and then 30 some thousand, and managed to pay off about $33,000 worth of debt, I think. So her channel's been very inspirational for me, and I know is inspirational for a lot of other people. Sorry for the birds are out, and it like is distracting me because it feels like they're flying like right at the house and right at me because I'm sitting right here by my window. Um, Okay, so the top portion of this I just use so I've kind of modified her version a little bit, and I'm trying to find kind of a system that's going to work for me. I don't know if I said this in past videos, but I used to use the Dave Ramsey Every Dollar app. It came with like the Financial Peace University, and I really did like that, especially like having it connected and tracking transactions and things like that. But I don't know if that's worth like $130 a year to pay for. Like if you're trying to learn how to budget and try to get into the habit of it, I think it's awesome and I think it's worth it. But in terms of like paying that the rest of my life, I sort of feel like that's not the best approach for me. That seems to me at this point kind of a waste of money when I can just find a way through a spreadsheet that'll do the same thing. So hopefully I can figure out a system that works for me. So I started with Budget Girls free template, and I am going to try to, kind of tweak it to have it meet my needs a little bit better. I'd like to actually do something where I'm breaking down like how much of a percentage is going towards whatever. But as of right now, I don't quite have that yet, and that's okay. So, income planned for this year or this month anyway. This is my day job, of course, and I get paid I actually get paid both jobs at the same time, but I have it set up this way so that I know like odd odd weeks are my normal job, and then the even weeks are my part-time job, which I'm actually thinking about giving up. It's becoming a bit of a drag, and I think I've mentioned that before in past videos, and um, I'm kind of getting to the point where like I'm really sick of coming home from work and I'm getting like an hour or two to myself, if that, and then it's hours upon hours of grading every day. And that really kind of narrows the window I have to do anything that like I actually like to do. But it's really hard to cough up that money. I mean, I set it as a kind of a base of 250. That's like the lowest it will be. I mean, that would be like if I took actually off a week. Um, but in the past, it's been much higher. Like last month, let's say, if we flip back to last month, the first pay for that was 504.87. Second pay, as part of that included the week after Thanksgiving, not as strong. Um, Not the week after Thanksgiving, the week after Christmas is one of the two of those weeks. So it was really kind of very, very much next to nothing. Um, and then uh, the last 2 weeks of the month, that pay was 614. So I'm usually averaging around $500 or $600, unless it's like a weird, holiday week where things get a little wonky. But I just, for my own sake, I set it at 250 so that I know that like I'm most likely not going to go below that. So that, anything extra I know goes on whatever goal I have at the time. Right now is paying off debt, so whatever thing I'm paying off, any of the extra goes on it, so it's money. So I don't like to like include it as part of. I don't like to include money I'm not sure I'm going to earn as part of my budget. Um, so I figure if I can do it, I need to be able to do it without that money, and then if I get more, great. Okay. Um, there's a breakdown of my general living costs. So there's my mortgage, which is $676.03. My electrical bill is $41.99. Now I do this as like this is the bill that's come in for like I'm paying it in February, but it's technically for January's usage. But since the money comes out in February and it gets paid in February. I just include it as part of February's budget, but it's technically January's electrical bill. Um, but this just works easier for me and my brain. Gas 156.32, that again is also because it's a usage thing. That's, I usually end up getting the bill like the last week of the month, a week and a half of the month. I usually get the two of these bills, so I know exactly how much I need to that I'm going to pay. I don't need to have, I prefer that because I don't want to sit here and say, oh, maybe gas is going to be 160 this month and then have to be worrying about, juggling any kind of overage or do something with whatever I'm under. So I just, this to me makes the most sense, and I know exactly what it is that I'm paying. My phone bill, 76.46. Sewer is a flat rate. It went up $3 because we put a whole bunch of new sewer lines in this year. Water also went up to 18.97. That's part of my note up here. So for next month, I'll take this out. But that was just as a reminder to me that our bill was changing for that. That's the kind of flat. That's the minimum. I rarely ever go over the minimum. Like sometimes in the summertime, if I'm having to like water my garden a lot, but usually like my usage is so low that I don't clear it. I did last month because I had a leaky toilet situation going on, but I think I have that fixed. And this month, like I literally just got my bill yesterday, and it's exactly, it's 18.97. It's, once again, I don't even meet the minimum to go beyond that. Garbage I have set at $15 right now, and internet, which is an internet TV combined package of 118.52 because it was, I did that thing where I kind of got caught up in like, oh, if I bundle with TV, it's cheaper, and then it kept getting more expensive. And I think I'm definitely to the point now where if I just eliminated TV, but my parents got rid of their TV, so I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hang on to the TV. They're gonna use some of the streaming services, but um, then they're going to pay me for access to the TV. So that works. So I will be, but we have to kind of figure out what that's going to be. As of right now, I'm paying that. And then we'll go from there. I was originally going to just drop back down to internet as soon as I like kind of finished out the contract in July, but so we're looking at now. Groceries, I budgeted $200 for groceries, $296 for my car. Life insurance is $7.50. My personal budget at this point is $150. My parents, ooh, let me take that out. That doesn't need to be in there. There's nothing in there yet. I keep that, is essentially an area where if I need to get something for my parents, my father had an accident and broke his neck 2 years ago. So he doesn't really get out of, he doesn't really get out of bed really, but they certainly don't get out of the house. And in times of COVID and things like that, if I'm out shopping or if my parents need me to pick something up, it's much easier for me to just go get it and drop it off at their house than for my mom to get somebody to like watch my dad or have me come down and watch my dad, which I would typically do just to give her a chance to get out of the house. But with COVID, I'm working and I'm working around school children. So I do not want to go anywhere near them until they are vaccinated. So right now it's more like, oh, I'll run and go get the things and drop them off. So there's space for that. And it might just be something where like, I know I'm going to the grocery store for something. I'll call and ask them and they will reimburse me for that. And that's what this is. This over here keeps track of what it is that I bought them that they're going to pay me for. And then my mother will reimburse me in this line. So I kind of know. And I just keep this just so it's easy for me to say, oh, here's what you owe me and here's what you gave me, because I will lose track of it in a heartbeat. And so will my mother. And it's kind of a pain then to keep tracking it back, a couple of months and be like, wait a minute, didn't I get you a thing at Sam's and this, that? And so that can kind of be a pain. House and garden right now is $100. I am thinking that I may adjust that. I was thinking about buying some seed starting sets. And I'm trying to talk myself out of that right now. Because I want to do it, but I'm also thinking like I'm feeling overwhelmed about everything I have going on in my life. And I'm thinking that maybe I was originally thinking that like it would help me plant some plants that I am definitely going to need to plant, in order to sell my house if I need to sell my house. And then I thought about it as a way to like, let's just kind of do some preliminary stuff and test it out and see what I like before I invest in anything else. And see how that goes. And I just feel like I maybe have too much on my plate and there's just too much to do. Um, and I think it would be better if I just simplify my life and not do it this year and save it for next year. Um, that's kind of what I'm leaning to. Of course, come spring and summer, I'll be mad at myself for not seed starting. But we'll see. I think I'll be okay. I think I'll manage. We'll just make do. I mean, that's part of it. I think if I'm going to spend a couple $100, I think I'd rather pay off my debt because it would be great to be at the end of this year and have like every piece of money going out the door stays out, like is no longer going out the door. That would be great if it stays in the door instead. So I may up that, but I probably won't. And we'll see from there. Restaurants I have set at $40. And my debt payments right now are $300 because last month I paid off my personal loan. Yay! It was very exciting. And so the only thing I have left is my student loan that I actively pay on anyway, is my student loan and my Citibank card. And then I need to actually do some research to find out what to do with my last piece of debt. And I'm not gonna really worry about it until my student loans are paid off, but I'm thinking I might not pay it because I need to call and I need to talk to some people and find out. I'm sort of thinking that so the kind of debt it is I worked out of state for 2 years. And then when I joined the pension system, I was allowed to buy those years. Only I didn't know that when I first moved into the system and when they would have been like super cheap. Um, I and I also didn't know that I could roll what I had in the other state into this state. So that's also irritating, which is my own fault for not knowing, but like I didn't know and nobody told me. Um, and I absolutely expected that like at least my parents should have known, been able to know and tell me, but they didn't either. My mother's worked for the same employer since she was like 16 or 15 or 16 years old. And I don't think my dad really had a 401k until he was at his last job, which was not smart, but he didn't have the experience to work on. At any rate, um, by the time I was able to purchase them, it was going to cost me about $15,000. And that was right about the time I was buying my house. And I thought, well, I can't pay for this right now. Um, and I think that I can still send them a lump sum. Like it's gaining a little bit of interest every year and it's up to like 17 and change. The specifics are down in the document here somewhere, but, um, I kind of feel like I might be better off investing that in a mutual fund to kind of make up the difference. Because what happens is if I say I retire at 35 years, that technically means I can have taught 33 years here in Pennsylvania. And because I bought those 2 years. So at 33 years, I'm technically at 35. That's 35 total years of service, only just 33 of them in uh, Pennsylvania. So then my retirement is based on that 35 years. They will take out the monetary value of those 2 years at the end, either in like a lump sum payout that I would get or reduce the amount I'm eligible for like monthly from the pension. So I'm thinking if I were to take that money, 17, probably $18,000 by the end of this school year, if I were to take that money and put it into a mutual fund and let that grow, um, surely that's going to grow at a rate equal to or better than putting it into the pension fund. And then at the very least, that mutual fund is going to be mine to keep. And it's going to be mine to give to somebody else when I die, as opposed to the pension, which will not be. So I'm not sure what to do there. So I need to actually talk to somebody. Um, the person I went to, a colleague I went to for that kind of advice, he's no longer a colleague. He and his wife actually both retired. So, and they've got very busy lives doing their own business, and they're not that easy to get a hold of. So I think I have to think about how I want to do this. Truly, it's not something that I'm going to even approach until my debt is paid off, because honestly, it only cost me probably like it's less than 1,000, it's like maybe $700 a year in interest. Not awesome, but um, not quite the same as like my student loans, and like having that, I don't have this constant payment that I have to get out from under me. And I think I like the idea better of putting the money aside into a fund and knowing that like I'm not paying a debt off with this. I am building an asset with this instead. So I think that's probably the route I'm going to go, but I need to do some research because I don't want a situation to happen where like, oh, hey, I only grew this to $100,000 and oh my God, they're taking 250 out. Like then I'm out 150, and that I don't want to do that. So it's going to be some conversations and some research, and I just don't have to do it quite yet. I'll probably look into it a little bit in the summertime, maybe next holiday season, because that'll be about the time, hopefully, that I'm able to pay off, like I'm going to have my student loans paid off. Um, so yeah, right now it's just the $100 to my Citibank card and the $200 to my student loans. So with that in mind, my total budgeted expenses right now are $2,354.79. So also within here, I need to pay my insurance this month. So that is actually put into my sinking funds tracker. Ooh, that's $0. I don't need to be taking anything out of that right now. Man, I didn't adjust any of these. That was silly. So my car insurance is $258, which dropped a lot actually. So I'm putting in $59 and I pay it every 6 months. It was definitely over $300. Now they gave me some money back, and then I think they dropped the rate because of the pandemic. I don't expect that rate to stay that low, so I'm not gonna adjust the amount that I'm putting in. I'm just gonna keep putting that same amount in because I do anticipate that that's gonna go back up eventually. And if it doesn't, then I've got some overage that I can do something else with, and that's fine. But that is astonishingly low. I don't think it's been under $300 since probably like the early 2000s, maybe. Um, so I'm not really sure what to do with that. Good Lord. I really didn't adjust this at all. Okay. So, and actually I need to change this to $10 out. So I did set up a giving fund this time. I'm putting $84 in, and I have two things set up on auto pay. One of them, however, I saw that I could use PayPal, and I was like, yeah, cool, PayPal. Well, PayPal goes to one account, and it's not the account that the giving fund is in. So I'm annoyed at myself for that one. I think for right now, for this month, it's going to stay like this. But what I may do for March is just send $10 over, or just, sorry, up the amount that goes over. Or I'm sorry, hello. Reduce the amount that goes over so that, like, instead of sending 84 over here, I'm going to just send 94, and then the other amount goes out. I don't know. I'm annoyed. I don't really want to go up and like go reset up a monthly pay, but I'm going to see if I can maybe do something with my PayPal. I don't know. It was very last minute. I did it on the first, and I wasn't even really thinking about what the heck I was doing. So, yeah, that's all that should be coming out of the sinking funds. Car repair, I don't drive anywhere. There's the insurance sinking fund in the car. So what this area is kind of breaks down the spending in my specific categories. And I do that to help me keep track of what I'm spending when. And I think that that's actually really been helpful. So for me to just be like personal and put a whole bunch of things under personal, that doesn't help me like figure out if I'm spending too much. You will notice here, if you've watched my other budget videos, which there's like two, and then there's those weekly check-ins, but I canceled my Audible subscription. That was really painful to do. First of all, it was really hard to find credits that I wanted to use. I don't know if anybody has the same problem, but comment, let me know if you do. I have such a hard time when somebody like gives me money, like on a gift card or whatever, like figuring out how I want to spend it. So when I have credits lying around, even though I've paid for them, I'm sort of like, ooh, this is a free book to buy. and I don't know how I want to buy. Like, I don't know what I want to buy. There's so many, and I'm like, do I really want to spend it on that? And there were some that I really liked, really was thinking, or really wanted, or thought like, you know what, that'd be really great to have in my library to listen to someday. Um, and it was less than the price of a month at Audible. So I was like, well, I can't, like, I paid $16, 15.85 or something for this credit. Like, I can't buy something for $6 like with this credit. Like, that, I'm losing money. That's stupid. So I finally was able to figure out something to buy because I had like 4 or 5 credits. It was insane. And then I canceled my subscription. I will probably re-up that at some point in my life. Because I do think it has a lot of value, but like I walk to work, so it's not like I can, listen. I used to commute to my job. And I would probably get in like a half an hour, 40 minutes of listening every day. Like that would be different. I would be using it more frequently. Um, but I really don't. And with my back the way that it is, it's kind of hard right now for me to go for like long walks and listen. So I just haven't been getting as much use out of it. And I thought that $16 I can spend somewhere else. It is impossible to cancel my gym membership. I am getting ready to do it. I am trying. I call and I keep getting people's voicemails. So I'm gonna have to, I think, I just bumped the table, so sorry if that kind of woggled. I think I'm gonna have to drive over there and actually like walk in and cancel in person. So that's annoying, but it comes out like the first or second of the month. So I think the first of the month. And the first of the month, this month, we had a massive nor'easter. So there was no going anywhere for anything. Um, so at some point this month, I'm going to have to go cancel that because I'm really not getting any use out of it right now. And that to me, that's just wasted money. I mean, between that and Audible, that was over $50 a month that just was just set on fire, basically. It is only the third of the month, so I have not spent any of my grocery money or anything like that. I do have another physical therapy appointment next week, on Monday. There's presumably another storm coming Monday, so if there is not, I will be going to physical therapy. Like it's up in the air. They don't really know what it's going to do yet, or how much it's going to drop, or if it's going to drop anything. I don't know. It's apparently one of those like it could be another monster or just a eh. But if it is a bad storm and I have to cancel, then I won't be going out to eat. If it is not, then I definitely will be going out to eat. So I'll be adding that next week. I doubt I will need gas, but I may just top off because I'm actually out and about. So I may do that. Who knows? Let's see here. Oh, last month I put a huge whopping $3,800 on my Citibank card. So the total for that is $700, and I'm going to pay that baby off this month. This month. I will probably pay it off next paycheck. Hallelujah. Which will actually be my first February paycheck. Hallelujah. I'm thrilled. I will be down to just my student loan. That's way faster than I thought it was going to be. And a lot of that had to do with some of the extra, like the stimulus money. And, I really clamped down on my budget and really did a good job not spending things I didn't really need to be spending. So I'm proud of myself for that one, big time. That brings actually my total loan balance right now down to 31,370.31 once I pay that $700 down, but I guess as of right now it's 31,470 once those payments go out. And they will probably go out, the Citibank goes out like the 5th or 6th, just based on when I think the cycle is over on the 4th. And so I will take $100 and I will send it out, and that will go on the payment itself, and then later on in the month when my pay comes in, I'll do the last 600. And see there we are, $17,532.24. That's where we're at with that PCERS loan. It's not really a loan. Buying of my ears, but like, it seems to me it makes more sense for me to take, like, at the end of the year, it might be around $18,000. I think I would rather invest $18,000 and try to make up the difference. Because even if I just even out, like even if I make 150,000 and they're gonna lop 150,000 off my pension, okay, but then I at least still get to keep that 150,000. If I don't, then I don't keep any money. So I feel like it's a better choice to just put it in an account and let it invest. on its own. But I'm going to have to crunch the numbers there and figure out what that's happening, what's happening there. So if that's the case, then my debt just got way closer. I got way closer to being debt free. Um, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So that's February's budget. The only thing, like I said, that might change here is like I am really hemming and hawing about whether or not to go ahead and do some seed starting stuff. Um, it's very hard because I'm getting inundated with seed catalogs right now. And I really want to because I really want to test out some things right now, knowing that like I may be moving from my house because I just don't know where my next year is going to take me. I may still be here. I tell you what, if I actually did seed starting, I would move. That's what would happen to me. I would get a job in a completely different part of the state and I would have to move. And then I'd be like, I have all these seeds and all this stuff that I have to move. Whereas if I decide to stay, or I'm sorry, if I decide not to, I will end up staying here for a couple of years because I'll get a job more locally that I can stay in my house and I'll sit here and think, but if I had started seeds, I could do more gardening. So it's just my life right there in a nutshell. But I have to kind of remind myself to like focus on more important things. Yes, the plants are great. I bought a whole bunch of bulbs that I planted that'll come up in the spring and they will look gorgeous. Um, but like focus on, the goal. Pay off your debt, pay off your debt, pay off your debt. Okay, so this is my budget. So, anybody that's watching that wants to leave a comment, that's great. I would really appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, this is pretty much what it is at this point. I would like to eventually like actually film differently, edit differently, things like that. But I honestly don't have the time right now in my life. I have a full-time job. I have a part-time job to pay off debt. And I am actually in the final semester of my internship to be in education administration. So it's a lot going on. And I would have waited, I think, to start this channel and to really start doing videos to like actually be able to like do them well. But ultimately I thought like it's now or never. And if it looks rough in the beginning, then that's at least a start, and that's better than doing nothing and just waiting for something else to be able to like do it better or whatever. So it is what it is at this point. Do you budget? What do you use to budget? Do you use an app like Every Dollar? I'm sure there's others out there. Do you have a specific spreadsheet that you use? Is there some kind of like, is there something that you prefer over, like, do you prefer the app over the spreadsheet? Did you make your own? Are you using somebody else's? Can your brain follow this one? Because mine can now, but it took me a while initially. Um, you know, are there anything that your budget has that, that mine doesn't? Because I would totally love to see how other people are doing things. I watch a lot of videos just to get ideas of like, ooh, I think that budget makes sense for me. Yeah, I like the way that goes. Right now, like this one is the one I'm focusing on because I want to rein in my spending. I typically work in cash with things that I overspend. But because of the pandemic, I'm not running to the bank just so that I have cash. And I don't really want to be handling cash, either handing it over or handing it back. So I was doing a lot of things digitally and I thought, oh my God, now I'm not tracking. Like I'm not keeping track of what I'm spending because before it was like, I have $40. The $40 is gone. It's over with. And so this has really helped me keep tabs on like what I'm spending when. Like typically restaurant, grocery, personal, like those would all be cash. And yeah, they're not anymore. Well, a portion of the personal would be cash. Obviously, these are all getting paid online, but the rest of that, like the difference, would be paid out in cash. And I would just have that to spend until I didn't have any more. So in the future, I may not do this because I'm not necessarily as worried about tracking my spending, or I'm just getting better at, I don't know, might find a different way of doing things. But um, yeah, that's it. That's it for my February budget. We'll see how well I do. And I will once again do weekly recaps. Like talking too fast for my mouth right now. And I'm going to have a video coming out in a day or so on my debt payoff progress so far because I have made a lot of progress. That's exciting. My phone just rang. Oh, it's my garbage company. I wonder what they want. I would hope, to explain why my garbage is still sitting out in the street, because my garbage was supposed to get picked up Tuesday morning. It was out Monday night. However, big snowstorm. I kind of figured that they weren't going to come and get it Monday or Tuesday morning. But they also didn't get it Wednesday morning. I don't really know why. They're a day behind sometimes, but like they usually catch up pretty fast. So I don't know what that was about. I guess I'm going to get that now. Okay, leave a comment, subscribe. Again, it's mostly me and my money so far. Bye.